Welcome back to another video, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about some NBA news about Draymond Green's 5-game suspension, coming from a Warriors fan. Not much of explaining. Before we get in the video, please make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So, if you guys have been living under a rock and you guys don't know what happened, basically Draymond Green has been suspended 5 games. I'll tell you guys about the whole story. So basically, the play started with Klay Thompson and Jaden McDaniels getting into a bit of a scuffle. I'm pretty confident that when Jaden McDaniels was trying to transition to the other side of the court, Klay held onto his jersey, and I'll import some pictures on the screen. I can't really show a video because it will get copyright and taken down, but I'll put some pictures on the screen. But Klay held on to Jaden's jerseys, then they got into a bit of a scuffle, right? Because they were both trying to pull each other's jerseys, and then Klay's jersey ended up getting ripped. They both were ejected, but that's not the main part. They were just kind of tussling. I don't even think they should have been ejected, if I'm being honest. But I think they should have just gotten one tech each, and then they would have kept playing. But the real problem came later. So Rudy Gobert then, after hearing that scuffle, was trying to separate it. I know there's some images of Rudy Gobert kind of hanging on to Klay's neck. I don't think that was a purposeful thing. This is coming from a Warriors fan, too. I don't think he did that on purpose. I think he was just trying to separate the two players because they were really, really going at it. I mean, pushing-wise, at least. Not really, no punches were thrown no punches were thrown in the whole fight. But Rudy was trying to separate the fight. And then, if you see in the video, if you want to go and watch the video, you can. Or I'll show you the picture on the screen. Draymond does not go at all for protecting his players. All he does is go straight for Rudy's neck because apparently he feels that Rudy was trying to choke out Klay Thompson or trying to injure or trying to fight Klay Thompson. Obviously, that's not what happened, but this is interesting because he goes straight for the neck and he does a UFC move with a rear naked choke for about 15 seconds. Right on Rudy Gobert, and he doesn't even let go. Steve Kerr is yelling at him, let go, let go, let go. He's not letting go, and this just shows you, I mean, I know I'm a fan of Draymond, but my goodness, he can have a temper, and it's obviously been shown, but this is a level of insanity. You can't choke out another player on the opposing team just because they're trying to protect the other players. What are you doing? You're trying to stir up too much. So after all that, after the choking scene, I believed he should have gotten a higher suspension. Again, coming from a Warriors fan, I think he deserved a higher suspension. Not only did he try to choke out somebody, but he was not fully tight, but he was definitely tight. And I think he deserved at least 10 games. I think that the analysts were talking about a 10-game suspension. And the reason why I don't think they got a 10-game suspension is because the Warriors are the #1 money-making team in the NBA. So Draymond being out not only hurts the Warriors' chances of making the playoffs, but also hurts the watchability from fans of watching Warriors games now, because although Draymond isn't the greatest player anymore, he can still start up the pot and get audience to watch his games. So obviously the NBA is trying to hope that the Warriors make the playoffs because the Warriors really cause a big attention span from viewers, but that's not the main reason why. I think it's also the reason why is because they don't want to actually hand down harsh punishments. They think that honestly, the league's a little bit soft when it comes to taking down punishments. You're in a full rear naked choke. You gotta give him at least 10 games. You have to suspend him for longer. But, yeah, without further ado, how does this affect the Warriors? Because this is obviously the biggest question. He's gonna be suspended for 5 games. Curry is still injured with, I believe it was, right ankle soreness or something around that range. It was leg soreness. So he was still injured. Obviously, he'll be back soon, but he's still injured nonetheless. And this is interesting because we don't know, really what's going on right now. This is definitely a big concern for the Warriors team because right now they are 6-6. They are not playing good. And if you're going to have Curry and Dre out, you're going to need guys like Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Jonathan coming in to step it up. And right now, they haven't been doing it. The best players have been Dario Saric and Brandon Podziemski. And that's about it. Klay has not looked good. He's been very, very inefficient. And Andrew Wiggins, like I said in my most disappointing players video about 2 days ago, he's been horrible as well. So you got guys that are not playing good that you need to play good in these situations. They're not playing good. You got the guys that have been playing good that are out. I mean, Draymond hasn't been that good, but he's been a good piece. But now this is the second game in a row that Draymond's been ejected from. This dude needs to calm down. This dude, I mean, again, I think he's still a valuable player. I think he's a good asset. Even if he's not a scorer, he can pass the ball well, and he can defend really well. And you're going to need him because we don't have a lot of forwards in centers right now, so you're going to really need that, because right now our starting lineup is Dario Saric starting at center, because I'm pretty sure Kevon Looney is also out. So it's definitely a big concern right now, because this Warriors team is continuing to get injured, and then we have Draymond getting suspended when we need him the most because Steph's injured. Because right now Steph is carrying our team. We do not deserve to be 6-6. We deserve to be like 2-10, honestly. Because right now our team is playing horrible. Again, like I said, Andrew Wiggins 10 points per game, 15% from three. Clay's really inefficient as well, shooting-wise. So it's definitely a worrying thing when Draymond, just in the middle of the game, you already lose Draymond and Clay. I know Clay has not been that good, but he's still an important piece. We end up barely losing to the Timberwolves. We almost won the game. I'm sure if we had Draymond and Clay, we would have won the game. I mean, Jaden McDaniels, I don't think he should have been ejected either going into the Timberwolves side. I don't think he should have been ejected. But he was ejected. But also, so is Clay. So it's kind of like mixes and matches. But I don't think that either of them deserve to be ejected. But this is a problem with the Warriors. If they're going to continue, not just the Draymond ejection, but if they're going to continue to play bad, these next steps the Warriors not only have been more inconsistent since their championship in 2022. Last year they were only a 6 seed, right? And they barely squeaked into the playoffs there. I think they ended up finishing with like 44, 45 wins. That is a problem. And this year they don't look much better. They started the season pretty decent, honestly. They ended up being 6-2. Now they're on a 4-game losing streak. And if Steph Curry's not on the floor, they look like trash. It's just the truth. They look like absolute trash. And they're not fixing themselves. So right now, as a Warriors fan, I'm nervous. I want them to make the playoffs. Obviously, I have hope, and I always come into the season with a bit of thing. Also, CP3 has been pretty bad so far this season, at least shooting-wise. Not really about, like, he's really going to have to work when Draymond and Steph's out at facilitating the offense, so I have no doubt that he's going to take a step forward, I hope at least. But he needs to shoot better and shoot more efficient, especially from three, because I think he's the 5th worst in three-point percentage right now in the league, and that's pretty bad. And Andrew Wiggins is also 3rd worst. So this is a lot of concerns for the Warriors, not only about Steph Curry's health, but about Draymond's stupidity and about the inconsistency of Wiggins, Paul, and Klay Thompson. So that is basically what I'm saying right now. The Warriors need to get it together. The Warriors have not been playing to their fullest extent, and I know that they can be a playoff team, and honestly, how they looked at the start of the year made me think that they were actually going to be like a 2 or 3 seed. Now they're barely fighting onto a playoff spot, and I ain't going to lie, it doesn't look like it's going to get much great. You got facing the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight, and that's going to be a tough matchup, but again, man, this team's disappointing me right now. I want to cheer for them, but when Draymond Green's going to go for a whole choke on Rudy Gobert, not that I'm saying Rudy Gobert doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it, if we're being honest. Even if you don't like Rudy Gobert as a person about the whole like COVID scandal, you can still appreciate him as a player because he's been really, really good this year. He's been one of the best defensive players in the league. And I'm glad that Rudy Gobert didn't get ejected at all because he really shouldn't have been. But Draymond, you just gotta control yourself more. You don't have to get yourself in the dial, because if you see him in the video, he's running straight towards Rudy, not looking at the other couple, not looking at Clay, not looking at Jaden, running straight for Rudy, and he already has his arms like this, like he's ready to choke. And like what are you doing? Like, you do not need to be doing that. It's fine. Let the play finish out. Let the coaches figure out. Let the refs get into the scuffle, because it's pretty. Honestly, the scuffle was already kind of mellowing down by the time that he got there, and then he just stirred it all up again. And Steve Kerr, the funniest part is this picture of Steve Kerr when he's literally saying, Draymond, stop, and he's just not stopping. He's continuing to choke Rudy out, and it's got to take like 3 guys to like pry him off, and then Rudy's on the ground at the end of the cliff. Like, wow, what an event that was. Not in a good way, but like, man, the Warriors, I mean, is this the entertainment we're going to get? Is this the entertainment that we were promised at the start of the year? I sure hope not. And that's about all I have for the video. It's just a quick update video about the whole Draymond Green situation, if you guys didn't know. 5 games, I think he deserved more, but without further ado, that's the end of my video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you think about this whole Draymond Green and the Warriors situation and the Warriors status of how they're doing right now. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!